this is Carla Delgado, and that's Mario Serrato. And together as a team, we decided that we were going to do business in India. So we're going to do our export-import project in India. And it took us a little bit of time to figure that out because we wanted to choose a country where doing business was easy. So I'm sure a lot of you already know about India, but please let me tell you some important facts everybody should know. First of all, they are the second most populated country in the world. There's 1.2 billion people, and that was the count since 2008. It is the world's largest democracy. And some of the languages that are spoken there, because there's a lot of languages spoken, are Hindi, English, and there's, as it mentioned, 16 other official languages. So somebody doing business in India has to keep that in mind. Plus, there's the many different religions that exist there. So there's Hinduism, there's Islam, there's Christianity, and Buddhism, and a lot of religions. So some of their main exports are agricultural products and textiles and jewelry and products like that. So the GNI is only $950 US per capita, so the poverty is pretty widespread in India. But it is a fast-growing economy, and the ease of doing business there has been much higher than before because of recent changes that have been happening. So recent reforms include liberalized foreign investments and exchange regimes. There's been a significant amount of industrial decontrol. There's also been a big reduction in tariffs and other trade barriers. Also, there's been reform and modernization of financial sector. And there's also been great changes in the government fiscal policy and also the monetary policy. And we also see that the intellectual property rights are pretty safeguarded in India. So we found that doing business in India, the ease is pretty high, and the score they got is 122 out of 179. So it is a pretty good score compared to other countries that are in Asia or other parts of the world. So the products that we chose to export and import are actually, if we did this project in real life, they would actually work because they are in demand. So we decided to import what's called the sari, which is the traditional uniform that is worn by Indian women. So that it would be geared to the Indian population that is in the United States and women. And what we decided to export are this scooter. So I don't know if you imagine a highway in India. I don't know if you guys have seen the Slumdog Millionaire movie, but you'll see it's very slow moving. Some cars, some bicycles, and even cows sometimes. So scooters, they already have used it, and so that is the product we decided to export. And Mario is going to tell you a little bit more about the process of exporting.
Okay. So what we did is export the Benda scooter. We decided to select the Benda scooter because it was kind of on the price range. When you're dealing with India, their economy and the different scooters there is, you can't truly undercut them. So we talked about kind of anti-dumping. It's not truly same like that, but you can't sell a product that's much cheaper than what their current companies in India are actually doing. So we kind of selected Benda scooters based on some prices. And the steps that we did a diversion risk checklist, a end user entity screen check, a cover letter, motor vehicle bill of sale, certificate of origin, irrevocable standby letter of credit, invoice, and shipper's letter of instructions. And what I'm going to do is show on the projector. It's a document camera?
Yes. You have to put something in the document camera though.
So here is an example of the diversion risk checklist. Basically, what it's asking is, what we're checking is Tata Motors, which we want to export the scooter to, which is a company from India. As you may have heard, they're the one that produced a car that's worth $1,000, or you can buy it for $1,000. So there's just specific questions to ask about purchasing the agent, reluctant, just kind of a checklist that says a diversion checklist.
For the car, it's about $2,500, but it's okay.
Yep, sorry. The next one is
The other one.
end user entity screen check. So basically, this is just to protect the product, to understand who's going to use it. It's really more specific for technology. So if we were going to, send some chips out there, microchips and stuff like that, this document would be very, very important to make sure that we knew exactly where the end user would go. This is a motorcycle, a moped. It's not a high technology, but it also is important to make sure that you understand where the product, is going to end up at. Also, what we have is the U.S. Customs Border Protection cover letter. This is describing the vehicle, the information we're going to export, the export information. This is just to get everything aligned with the U.S. Customs. And I'm showing these sheets in the progression because this is kind of the steps that you would need to take if you were actually going to export something to India. What we use first, second, and third. What we have then is the motor vehicle bill of sale. You see here the description, the year, the VIN number. Having the correct information is really, really important. If you don't have the correct information, it's going to put a red flag in the import-export area, and therefore they may hold your shipment, and you don't want that because you want your product to be at your customer's hands so you can sell it, because that's what we've heard, time is money, right? As you see in the bottom is the date sign, who we're going to give it to, who was, put the buyer, San Marcos University, a witness, who was the witness that saw this, and then and also my name. The next sheet that we have here is the certificate of origin. As we talked, about it here in class about the importance of that. Here you see the quantity of mopeds that we're going to ship. It's going to be 20 of them. The description, it's 150 cc. The value, the description by code, as you see, as we talked about, and understanding what the code is, and then just the header and the footer information. Pretty standard. Made in the USA, as you see in number 20. So country certificate of origin. The back page of a certificate of origin looks something like this, if I get this correct. This talks about the footnotes, specific things that makes everybody aware of this is a binding document, and it therefore it's a legal document per se. Then the next one I did was a irrevocable standby letter of credit, Bank of San Marcos. Here once again, Bank of India. Gives a vice president title, the address, university, the U.S. dollars, and the things that you would need for the transaction to be completed. And then we have the invoice. Once again, shows the quantity, 20, the unit value, the amount of value, the shipping cost, and then just once again, you got your header and your footer with detailed information. And the last one is a shipper's letter of instruction. Once again, talking about the header, the footer, the details of quantity, and kind of just as you see it in the EAR of 99, it's an ECCN number, which is also used to track stuff. So these were the documents that we used